Hello, hi everyone. On behalf of LegalEdge, I, Zenab Ma'am, welcome you all to our series called Meet Up with the Experts. And today we have with us Advocate Adita Goyal, who's practicing as an independent practitioner with the Madhya Pradesh High Court. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Zenab. Very happy to be here.
How are you doing, Aditya?
I'm doing well. Law has treated me nicely, I have to say. Like college life as well as the professional life. So nothing to complain.
Okay. So Aditya, if you like, I just wanted to know that what has been your journey so far in the legal arena, and how did you decide that law was your calling?
Frankly, if I were to be completely truthful, I never decided that law was my calling. It was more for me a matter of chance. I
Okay.
appeared for the CA competitive examinations as well. I got through NLI Bhopal and I was able to clear the first round of CA examinations. After
Oh,
talking to a couple of people, I decided that law is a better option for me and it will appeal more to me.
okay.
So it was more like a chance, less like a predetermined plan. It was nothing like that. But
And
yes, it has.
and
I'm
you are
very
happy with
happy
it.
with. Yes. Very, very happy with it. I
Hmm.
cannot imagine myself doing any other thing apart from
That's
like being
amazing.
in this field.
That's amazing. So Aditya, if you could take us through your journey of law, that how you started with it, and where are you currently working, and what kind of matters you deal with.
Okay. So I was in National Law University Bhopal till 2016. So that's when I graduated. I went in 2011 and I graduated in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Thereafter, I was here and there for a couple of years. I was in Khaitan Company, Mumbai for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was litigating in Delhi for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So the main forums where I used to litigate in Delhi were the forums where my senior appeared, which was the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court.
Okay.
But I have shifted now to my home state, Madhya Pradesh,
Mm-hmm.
like essentially shifted my practice here.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been well so far. I have been here for 2 years now and
Mm-hmm.
have been independent for about 18 months now. And the
Okay.
practice is doing well. It's very satisfying profession.
Mm-hmm.
So to anyone like who is aspiring to take up law as an option,
Mm-hmm.
one thing which is guaranteed is a lot of professional and personal satisfaction here. You
Oh, that's
will
amazing.
be satisfied from the professional, from the work you do, from
Mm-hmm.
the mind you develop.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one very big positive to take away from this profession.
Okay. So Aditya, now that you've told me that this is one particular profession where one would be satisfied in their life, so I
Hmm.
just wanted to know your take as to how should one understand that, what are the basic factors on the basis of which one should decide that they should opt for law? Like, what are those deciding factors?
Uh, One of the factors which you should consider
Mm-hmm.
uh, is a little interest in social sciences.
Okay.
If you have even exploratory interest in sociology or
Mm-hmm.
how the society is functioning, or many people in class 11th and 12th also develop interest about constitution, about what is equality. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have even a little bit of interest from that part of like work,
Mm-hmm.
then law is an option which you should seriously explore.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that is, I think, one of the strongest indications that you may consider law as a career option.
Mm-hmm.
One thing which you should not consider and which you should not think of as a valid option is the headlines or the news which you hear about law firms offering very big packages.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very big motivation for you to like naturally
Participate.
appear for CLAT, and naturally that is a very valid motivation.
Mm-hmm.
But you think of choosing law as a subject when you have a slight interest in law. Thereafter,
Mm-hmm.
better consequences will definitely follow. So if you
Oh.
have a little interest in social science, constitutional law, then I think you can seriously consider law as an option.
Mm-hmm. So Aditya, one question that I have over here is that there is something which is also known as business law, BBA, LLB. So for that also, if you want to opt, then also you should consider that you have an interest in the field of,
Yes.
constitution, all of these subjects. Like if one wants to proceed into that arena only, so one should also, have an interest in these fields too.
No, uh, if your interest is refined to an extent that you have a slight inclination that you want to do BBA, LLB, or say business law, which has a major focus on business law, then
Mm-hmm.
naturally your focus would not be social sciences, your focus would be commercial law. So if
Okay.
you have interest in how big MNCs are managing their legal affairs, if you are very keenly following the Tata Mistry dispute, or if you're following the Amazon versus the Kishore Biani and Amazon versus Reliance dispute, then these are some of the indications that probably business law is appealing to you as like an intellectual. It is a business law is appealing to you.
Okay.
So if you're following those kind of news intently, then yes, go ahead with business law. You
Okay.
are made for that.
Okay, okay, okay. I get it.
Yes. Yes.
So, Aditya, now I have a very interesting question. So, like most of the students who come and appear for CLAT, they have seen a particular thing in movies, like how it is projected. Like, for example, you've seen Harvey Specter or like the
Yes.
Tariq pe Tariq thing. How
Yes.
is that different from the real life law that we see actually in the courts being practiced? Is there a similarity or are they two different? How is it? What is the
It
ground
is
reality of the field?
it is a lot more glorified version of what is really happening. It
Mm-hmm.
has some roots in the grass reality.
Mm-hmm.
It is little bit glorified because it is theater, but otherwise, yes, like for anyone who is following Harvey Specter, who's
Mm-hmm.
watching Suits or who's watching Boston Legal, and is
Mm-hmm.
inspired by that, then there is nothing wrong with it.
Okay, it is more or less on the
Naturally,
same lines.
I wouldn't say more or less on the same lines.
Mm-hmm.
They take out all the hard work and the dry work for the purpose of making the series interesting. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, it has some resemblance.
Okay, okay,
They take
okay.
out all the dry work only for the reason that they have to make a show out of it.
Show outfit.
But,
Yeah, because
but
we
yeah,
are get asked this question quite a lot. That is it the same? Is it the different? Because obviously people want to know as to how is it and what is it. So,
it is not as glamorous, that I
not
can
as
definitely say.
glamorous. Okay.
Yes. And
But
it has a
as you
lot
said
of
that
build work.
it is satisfying in the end. So I believe all the hard work is
Yes,
really
yes,
valued in the end.
yes, 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 yes. It is, it is, it is.
Mhm. So Aditya, as you mentioned that you are a graduate of NLIU Bhopal, I just want to understand as to, how should an individual, like, he or she has given his CLAT exam or the various other exams which are there, how should one select his or her law college? Like, is the college he or she is attaining his education from of prime importance, or like, how is it? How does it work in the field?
Um, so my belief is that the top 10 national law universities,
Mm-hmm.
the usual culprits, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Bhopal, Delhi, Calcutta, Jodhpur, etc., etc.,
Mm-hmm.
more or less they offer you good opportunities to progress. And
Mm-hmm.
thereafter, it is up to you how you use those opportunities which are given by the college.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone asks me is Jodhpur better or Calcutta better?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is what is better is what you make out of it. Both
Mm-hmm.
of them will give you a lot of opportunities to excel.
Mm-hmm.
So with respect to the top few colleges, there
Mm-hmm.
is not much to choose between. It is
Mm-hmm.
up to you then, once you have gotten through a very good college, up to how you make use of the resources which the college is giving you.
Okay. So, Aditya,
And
you mentioned about something about opportunities with the college gives. Could you please elucidate as to what opportunities are we talking of, like in terms of internship or like the exposure? Like, what is it? What are those opportunities entailing, basically?
a lot of opportunities actually, and many students would be overwhelmed as to amount of activities which are happening in a particular law school.
Mm-hmm.
You have lot of moot courts, you have debates, you have ADR competitions
Mm-hmm.
in which you can not only participate, you also host in your college. Then naturally there are sports activities,
Mm-hmm.
there are internships in all kinds of places, policy think tanks, litigation offices, corporate offices,
Mm-hmm.
legal research, paper writing, and all of this is over and above the academic work which you're supposed to do in your college.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a host of things,
Mm-hmm.
and the more you do, the more you will develop.
And
So
the more they refine you as a person, and the more they
yes,
refine you in your own career. Okay,
yes.
I get it.
And how would you know unless you try almost all of them, where does your interest lie? You
Hmm.
may be a very good debater, and
Hmm.
debate might come naturally to you. So
Hmm.
you should try and explore as much of those activities as possible.
Hmm. Hmm. Having spoken about these law colleges per se, I just wanted to understand that the marks one gets in his or her college or university, what kind of importance do they hold onto your career graph? Like, does it affect it, or is it just another, a grade?
No, it does affect. It
It
does
does
affect your
affect.
career.
Okay.
Yes,
And
yes,
how
yes.
does it affect, like, with respect to placements and all?
With respect to everything, actually,
Mm-hmm.
the effect of those grades are more like highlighted in the first 3 4 years of the profession,
Mm-hmm.
but it does affect you. It like affects you for placements. If you want to do a master's somewhere, it will
Mm-hmm.
affect you for masters.
Mm-hmm.
It affects you today in many litigation chambers. They also see not only your college but your performance in the college. Most
Okay.
good litigation chambers see that as well. So
Mm-hmm.
it affects you to the extent of getting the first few opportunities out of college.
Okay.
So the first opportunity which a top five ranker may get may not be equivalent to the opportunity which a rank 50 or 55 is getting. That is
Mm-hmm.
more or less the general rule. There may be outliers and exceptions here and there, but that is more or less the general rule that
Mm-hmm.
the better you score, because how else do you judge 100 people who are coming out of one batch? There has to be
Indeed,
one
indeed.
metric.
Mm-hmm.
That metric might be right or wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
that is the sole uniform
Protocol that
metric
they
on
follow.
which people can be judged. So
Mm-hmm.
it does matter, especially for the first 2 3 years after graduation.
Okay, okay, okay. So, Aditya, now one more thing that I wanted to understand from you is that uh, now there are a lot of avenues one can go for post, like after completing his or her law degree. So now, how
Hmm.
should one understand कि वो litigation के लिए बना है या वो corporate field के लिए बना है, and where his or her interest basically lies? How should one understand?
Uh, Try all kinds of internships, one.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
second, try and talk to every college senior who's coming to your campus. These
Okay.
are the two best ways. Try your
Okay.
hands at litigation internship, try your hands at corporate internships,
Mhm.
try your hands at any other policy. If you want to do and work in a policy think tank, try your
Mhm.
hands there.
Mhm.
And most colleges have a few alumni who are working either as litigators or in the corporate field
Mhm.
or in the policy think tanks. So try and meet
Mhm.
as much as of your alumni as possible. That is
Okay.
very, very
Okay.
helpful. Yes. So
Mhm.
alumni will be able to help you a lot, especially with respect to career guidance. They will
Mhm.
be able to help you massively.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, Aditya, now talking about one more thing. So now, as you said कि internships यहाँ पे बहुत important होती हैं रोल डिसाइड करने में कि आपको litigation में जाना है या आपको corporate में जाना है. But what I wanted to understand is like अगर कोई इंसान का कोई legal background नहीं हो, so is attaining those internships easy for him or her, or it's like a difficult job? Like how does it happen?
I had, and I do not have any legal background.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And and most people who come to law colleges these days do
Mm-hmm.
not have a legal background.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
almost everyone can get a good internship. So
Okay.
you will have to put in a little more effort,
Mm-hmm.
but you will be able to get good internships. So
Okay.
a good legal background may help you with one or two internships. It will not help you for the 8 to 10 internships which you are doing throughout your 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, even if you do not have a legal background, you will get good places to work. If you have a good CV, if you have something in you, you
Mm-hmm.
will get response from people.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. I get it. So, Aditya, now these days, and in my knowledge, from my limited knowledge that I have in from this field, I have seen that many people opt for corporate law and not for litigation. And this is the recent trend which I'm talking to you about. Do you think that this particular trend that is happening in the market, that is a healthy thing to go for?
Uh, I think it is healthy. There is nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, India is growing. There is a need for lawyers who can resolve commercial disputes to the best of their abilities. There is a need for courts, even courts need good commercial lawyers. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's up to the student as to see what he can do, what interests him the most. And whether it is corporate law, whether it is corporate litigation or criminal litigation, naturally there are diverse people who will have diverse interests, and there is nothing wrong with any of these career options. Even if most of the people try and do corporate law, what's wrong with that? It's okay.
It is indeed. So now, Aditya, talking about you per se, like now, as you told us, कि आप पहले खैतान company में काम करते थे, and then you moved on to your independent practice. So how did this transition happen? And also, was this transition easy for you? Like, there is generally a mindset कि, okay, if you are into corporate law, you're just into corporate law. If you are into litigation, then just into that. So was this transition easy for you? And how did you basically decide that, okay, litigation is something that is meant for me?
The decision, so I'll answer both the parts of the question.
Yeah.
First, the decision was based on how my interest had developed. I gave a very good shot at corporate law. At least I think that I gave a good shot at corporate law. I somehow did not seem to enjoy it as much. So therefore, at least as much as litigation. And all my litigation internships, I had a very, very good time. So that's how I chose litigation, that yes, this was the way in for me.
Okay.
And I thought to myself, if that is the way in for me, I might just step into it early and not wait for a couple of years, like before stepping into litigation.
Okay.
And was it tough? Initially, it is tough because you get used to a certain amount of money, and you get used to a certain amount of lifestyle. But it's only a matter of couple of months. Most litigation chambers, good litigation chambers today pay good money. I wouldn't say that they are paying exceptionally high, but they are paying very decent money. The feeling which most people have that in litigation you get absolutely zero does not hold true anymore. So that is one. And second, yes, it is slightly tough. Litigation is, I think it may be more demanding. So it is tough, but you will get used to it. Anyone will get used to it in no time. Give yourself 3 to 6 months and you'll be fine.
Okay. So now, Aditi, considering that you are a person who has had his share of corporate law, practicing in the field of corporate law and litigation, so what are those basic traits we would say कि ये एक अच्छे lawyer में तो ये traits तो होने ही चाहिए कि like if you want to go into litigation, so just ensure that these 3 things or these 4 things one must do or something like that. So how can one ensure that he or she is of a good quality lawyer, as I may say, or is acing it in his or her field? So how should one ensure that?
I think 2 skills are very important. Like one is legal research and the ability to read case laws. What is a particular case saying? You should have the patience to go through 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 pages of a case law.
Yeah.
And the second thing which is important and which you learn in college and which is very underrated is good Microsoft Word skills. MS Word is your Bible. Every document, every pleading, every contract is made on Microsoft Word.
Indeed.
So people might think, why is it MS Word important for a lawyer? But it is very, very important. It is the software which you will use 24/7. So,
and I think you've raised a very good point here, and that point being that apart from you having your legal knowledge, you should also know the technicals. And for anybody who's listening to this particular interview, please do ensure that you have these two. And the reason why we are having this interview for you is that so that you are honing your legal research skills and also your technical skills. So that's a very good takeaway from this particular interview of yours with us.
Thank you.
And Aditya, one more thing I wanted to ask: that what are those challenges that you faced in your, your journey in the field of legal field?
I would be very honest with you. I did not face any Herculean challenges, nor have I overcome many Herculean challenges. Various small things you face, pressures of deadlines, something which has to be done overnight, something which has to be done today at any cost. Those pressures you face every other day. Uh, Frankly, I had a very good senior while I was in Khaitan, while I was in Delhi,
Mm-hmm.
and while I was in Indore. So all
Mm-hmm.
my seniors were very good. I got a lot of support from my college alumni, and I still get a lot of support from my college alumni.
Still?
So
Mm-hmm.
the pressures which I have faced are mainly work based as to how to achieve your target, how to complete that filing tomorrow, how to best argue that case tomorrow. So,
Mm-hmm.
and those pressures will never leave you. Like,
Yeah, indeed. True. That
in
is
any
there.
field, they will not leave you.
Mm-hmm. So, Aditya, is there any particular case of yours that you've dealt with and you would like to discuss with us? Any particular case which involves some certain degree of understanding of law, or anything that you wish to share with us?
I do have a couple of pending cases. Actually, let me share something on which I am researching right now.
Okay, yeah, please tell
The
us.
the question is that this is slightly legalese. The if question is with respect to territorial jurisdiction of a high court.
Okay.
If
Mm-hmm.
no cause of action arises within the jurisdiction of a particular high court,
Mm-hmm.
but only the respondent resides there, is
Mm-hmm.
residence the sole sufficient ground for jurisdiction
Okay.
in
Mm-hmm.
absence of any cause of action? I believe it is, but let us see the
Okay.
view which the courts take.
Okay. So this matter is still pending in the courts and you are dealing with it.
Yes, yes, yes. It
Mm-hmm.
is pending, and hopefully in a week or so, I should have more clarity on the view of the court.
Okay. 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 So,
But every day you will face something or the new in litigation or in corporate law. Every day you will have some or the other new research to do. So this is something which just comes to the top of my mind because I was working on it today as well. But
mhm.
these challenges will come every day.
Yeah, that is true. And I believe in the field of in the field of law, learning never stops because you're always searching onto something or learning something anew each
Yes.
day. Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes. That
that
is
is
true.
there.
That is true. You put it in better words. Actually, learning never stops. There's always something new to do.
Learning. Hmm.
Yes,
That
yes.
is true. So, Aditya, your parting message to all the CLAT aspirants who are going to apply, who are going to appear for this year and even in the coming years, your message to them, if at all you could give any tips
Yes,
or your message or
yes.
anything of that sort.
Try and give your best possible shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember, it is not the end of the world. Whatever college you get in, I'm sure you'll do very well. Try and give your best possible shot. Don't be under any pressure. If you get into a very good national law university, then congratulations. Even if you do not, you will have a lot of opportunities. And don't be under any pressure. Prepare the best you can and give your exam with a cool head. Don't get yourself into negative marking.
Okay, Aditya, it was great connecting with you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you,
sparing
Zenab.
your valuable time and coming here and sharing your thoughts with us. It was pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you with us.
Thank you, Zenab. It was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.